The engine tick, 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 tick.
Where the fuck the function? Where the fuck the function? The way I feel right now, I feel like we need to be all alone. So if you just...
What's up, you guys? It's Asia Marie and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, you're now watching Asia Marie TV. And as you can see from the title in today's video, I've had so many people commenting on my other Jeep videos. I've had people DM me on Instagram asking me like, hey, you've been having your Jeep for a while, like, can we get an update? I want to know like how she's driving and this and that. So I am always happy to answer you guys' questions, but I thought it would be helpful to make a full YouTube video just to let everybody know how the wagon is doing. So if you have missed my other videos, I did vlog when I first purchased my Jeep. I do have like car wash videos. I did record a Jeep tour, and I also have a video of like 5 things that I hate about my Jeep. So you guys wanted an update, so here we are. If you see, y'all, I am all made up because I actually had to renew my driver's license, y'all. So I did turn 30, if you did or did not know, and my license is expired. So I did go to renew my license. That's why I look pretty, because I really wanted to look good in my photo, but the DMV is so backed up, I had to schedule my appointment. So I thought this would be a perfect time to film this video. So here we are. So just a little backstory on my Jeep. So in December of 2020, I purchased my first car, which was this Jeep Wrangler. She was a 2021 Jeep Wrangler 4x4 high altitude. Yeah, the title is so long I forget sometimes, but yeah, she was a 2021. I purchased her in 2020. So wagon is almost 5 years old. It's like really crazy because I still drive her like she's a brand new car. Like I don't really feel like I'm breaking her in, and it's been a really long time, but I'm very gentle with my car. Yeah, so wagon is almost 5. Like she turns 5 in December, and that's just really crazy. And it's like to look back on my vlog and to see how far I've come. Like I never thought I could be able to have my dream car. Like I just never thought that, and I was so blessed in that time. Like 2020 was a hard year. Like we had COVID going on. It was just a lot, in the way I was blessed. Like if you guys didn't see, I do have a video answering questions about my buying process, and I told you guys like how I manifested this Jeep, and I also told you guys like what happened, how it happened. Like I am still grateful and thankful. Like every time I get in my car, I'm just like, thank you God, thank you God. I love my car so much. So if y'all do have any other questions, either comment below, I'll answer them, or DM me. Like I said, y'all, I am not like, don't be shy. I love talking to y'all. I love giving y'all information, especially if you are in the market for buying a Jeep. It's some things you need to know. So I have a few questions for you guys. I just want to give y'all a 4-year update on my Jeep and let y'all know how wagon is doing. So if you didn't know, her name is Ladybug. Her nickname is Wagon. Everybody knows her as Wagon. So say hi, Wagon. Okay, Wagon says hi. So anyway, love her. Okay, so this is the #1 question I get, so I'm gonna answer this one first. I've been having a lot of people ask me, do you or your passengers get motion sickness from the Jeep rocking too much? So I've had like my dentist ask me this question. I've had so many people DM me and ask this question. So I will say, I only do highway and street driving. I don't do off-roading. In my opinion, the drive is pretty smooth. Let me tell you why. I think the drive is smoother than other Jeeps because I have bigger tires, so I'm higher up off the ground. The only time you may need to hold on is if I'm going over like a speed bump, or there's like a bump in the road and my wheels aren't straight. So if I'm not driving over a speed bump perfectly straight, you're gonna like rock back and forth for a little bit. But as far as like normal driving, the Jeep doesn't just rock all day, because I wouldn't be able to take that. I'm be honest, I would not be able to take that if my Jeep was like rocking back and forth. But it is easy to rock, and I think that's because of the suspensions. When people are off-roading, you kind of need that give and take when you are on like hills and stuff like that. But as far as street driving, I have no complaints. My passenger may or may not have a few complaints, but that's because if I'm going over a hump or a speed bump or something like that, if I hit a curb, we may rock a little bit. Or if I'm going over like the railroad tracks and they're not smooth, like, yeah, you might need to hold on a little bit. What plays a part into that is I'm not hard on my vehicle. For example, a lot of people drive rough, hard, hit bumps, and it's like I haven't beaten my car down, so everything's still good as new, if that makes sense. So I do know like a lot of older Jeeps, they have a lot of rocking in them, especially if they have the factory tires, like the smaller factory tires. I do hear a lot of people complain about like, oh, it's a lot of shaking and rocking and I get sick and da da da. Me personally, I'm cool. My passenger, like I said, if I'm going over something, you might need to hold on to the little thing in front of you or whatever. But like once you level out, you're good. So in my opinion, in my wagon, we straight. Okay, next, how much are your oil changes and how often do you get them done? That's a really good question. So when I purchased my vehicle, I also have a package where my oil changes are half off. So my first 3 oil changes were free, and then from there on out I have to pay. I think regular price for oil changes are $100 to $200. I think they're in the $100 range, and I think it's because Jeeps, well, this Jeep in particular, I'm not gonna say all Jeeps, I know this Jeep in particular takes synthetic oil, and I have to get my oil changed every 5,000 miles, and I am like on it. Soon as I see like I'm almost to 5,000, I bring my car. I don't play that. And I did talk to a mechanic, and they said those are things you cannot slip on. If you miss an oil change, if you go over maybe like 500 miles, you're fine. If you go over like a few thousand down the road, you may have engine issues. So they were like telling me the one thing that you need to make sure you stay up on is your oil changes. So I do not play. Like 5,000 miles, I'm at the dealership getting my oil changed. My oil changes are half off, so I do pay $50 every time I get my oil change, and I also get free tire rotations. So I can't tell you how much tire rotations are. I do get free tire rotations for life. So every time I go, I usually ask them to rotate my tires, change my oil. Okay, next question. Have you had any recalls? So no, I have not had any recalls. I pray I don't have any recalls. I do hear a lot of people say Jeeps have a lot of engine recalls. I have not had that issue. I haven't had anybody call me or send anything in the mail, so I am good on recalls. How much is maintenance? So the only maintenance that I have done on my Jeep so far are oil changes every 5,000 miles, new tires, and we will talk about tires in a little bit. I have had to pay a lot for tires, or $250 each tire. I've had to get a new battery multiple times, and I will go into detail on why that is. The only thing is gas. Every time I run out of gas to fill up, it's about $40 to $50 depending on where I'm getting my gas. I have a Sam's membership, so I usually get my gas at Sam's, which is like cheaper than, you know, regular gas stations. So I usually spend a good $40-$45 to fill up my tank. I did have to get a new windshield, and I will talk about that in a second. But the new windshield was covered by my insurance, and that's pretty much it. Like, I haven't had anything break down. I haven't had anything like rip. Oh, I did have someone broke into my car, busted my back window, and stole. I had a MCM purse that I left in my car, and I know that was so stupid of me to leave it, but I had it in the back seat, like under my seat, and I guess they saw it. I didn't really trip because the bag was only like $200, but I just hated that somebody violated my wagon in such a way where they busted my window. But anyway, the window, I found someone to fix it for like $150, so that was really cheap. But I know getting new windows is like pretty expensive. But yeah, y'all found me a little, you know, I found me somebody to do it for like 100. Off-roading. Okay, so I've never been off-roading. She's not that type of girl. Like she's a baddie Jeep. You know what I'm saying? Like she's a highway, like in the streets type of girl. Like she is not off-roading in the mud. Like no. So as far as off-roading, y'all, I don't even know how to drive her off-roading. Now I do need to learn. Okay, I have watched a few YouTube videos, and I almost got stuck in sand. I got myself out of the sand, you know, but other than that, I can't really tell you how she is off-roading. But I will say I almost got stuck in mud when it was flooded, and Wagon disappointed me because she could not get herself out. Like Wagon, she's like truly a baddie because she could not get herself out of that. But I was driving in 2-wheel, not in 4-wheel, so that's probably the issue. But y'all, I got out. I was like MacGyver. I got out. I found a wooden plank and I put the wood plank underneath my back tire and I got out. But I should have put her in 4-wheel. If I would have put her in 4-wheel, we probably would have gotten out a little easier, but I just don't know how to do that. Like I don't know. I'm gonna learn though. I'm gonna learn. Okay, so I'm going to go down the line of all of the issues that I have had and how much the repairs were. So tires are expensive. So the price of the tires for my Jeep, which is the Jeep Wrangler Unlimited High Altitude, which the high altitude has the bigger tires. My tires are $250 a pop. Let's talk about it. I have had so many nails in my tire. I don't know if these tires have a magnet where they just like, they see a nail and it just sucks it in. I've had so many issues. I've had so many non-repairable tire issues, and I've had some repairable. So what I've learned is Discount Tire has our tires and they're the cheapest. So Discount Tire usually doesn't carry the tires in stores, so I know when I had to get my tires they had to order them in for me, but they do have our tires the cheapest, so I pay like $250 a pop. So that's just my little tip. If you have a Discount Tire in your city, that's who I recommend going to, especially for your tire repairs. Battery issues. So I have had tons of dead battery issues, and I have heard a lot of mechanics say if you have a Jeep, our Jeeps are like computers. Like the way they operate, the things that they have in the system are more like computers than, let's say, a regular car or a truck. So because of that, if you leave a light on, if you accidentally leave a door cracked, and I do understand this can happen with any vehicle, but with Jeeps, you can leave one light on in your car for a few hours and your battery will probably run out. I've had issues where I accidentally left my car in neutral, and y'all, I didn't leave the house for like 2 days. And when I did decide to go somewhere, y'all, car would not start. I'm like, what is wrong with it? What is wrong with it? So pretty much because the Jeep is more computer wired, so the car will turn the engine off, but it will still be on, which is why my battery died. I was able to get my car towed to the dealership and they changed the battery for me. Now here's the tea. And that happened, I was like a month shy of my 3-year warranty. So when the dealership took my car, replaced my battery, brought it back, they gave me a cheap battery that's for a car, not a Jeep. So these Jeeps need like a higher powered battery. They gave me a cheap one knowing I was gonna be back, and the next time I came back I was gonna have to pay. So I took the battery to AutoZone, and you know, they like plug it in for you or whatever, and they also look up your vehicle. And the guy told me the battery that I needed is like a $300 high-powered battery. Jeeps also have 2 different batteries, if you didn't know. Jeeps have 2 batteries. They have like a startup battery and like a backup battery. So the guy told me like whatever battery that they gave me was like one fit for a car, not a Jeep. So I will say, check your battery. If you do not have the correct battery for your car, go ahead and spend the extra money, because I have not had battery issues with my car since I went ahead and spent that 300 plus on a new battery. Also, I do have a Sam's membership. If you guys have a Sam's membership, I'm not sure about Costco, but Sam's also sells car batteries and tires, and they're a little more discounted than let's say like an AutoZone or whatever. But I just went to AutoZone. I needed my car to run that day. My dad and I actually changed the battery and I was good to go. But Jeeps do have heavy battery issues, and it's because of the way the car operates. It needs more battery than like a regular car. Like spending like $100 on a cheap battery, you're gonna keep having to buy a new battery. So next, key fob. I did have a key fob incident where the battery in my key fob died, but the way that my car reacted to that, I thought the car was like breaking down. The story was, the car would tell me like key not detected, key not detected. Now I was like 3 years in, so I've never seen that before. So I'm like, okay, well maybe it's just not really reading the key right now. Like I just kind of overlooked it, right? Moving forward, I was out, you know, doing whatever, and I went to start my car, and the car halfway started up, meaning like the key probably was dying as I was trying to start my car. It started the engine halfway, so like my engine was like revving like and it was making like a loud tick 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 tick. I'm like, is the car breaking down? I'm like, oh my gosh. Everything just went haywire. Like every light on my dash was just flashing. Da, 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 da. My touchpad was just flashing different colors. I'm like, is my car breaking down? I'm like, what is happening, y'all? I was so scared. So the car ticked for a long time. I couldn't even turn it off. I couldn't even turn the car off because it was like halfway trying to start itself up. It just was weird. So I just sat for a second and I let the car just like do whatever it was gonna do. And then because even like my brakes were hard, like you know how you press on your brake to start the car, the brake was like stuck. It was a lot going on. So pretty much what happened, my key fob didn't have enough battery to read for the car, so the car read just a little bit. And the problem with Jeeps is our keys have like, Jeeps have anti-theft, just in case you know you have your doors off. It's like, that's why they say the Jeeps are high powered. So pretty much the key fob didn't have enough battery to read, so it read enough to try to start up, but it couldn't start up fully to get the engine going. I was able to turn the car off. I had to wait a little bit, and I was able to turn the car off, and I sat for a good 10 minutes. I got on Google and I said, hey, this happened, Google, da 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 da, what's going on? They said it's usually key fob issues. So I'm like, key fob? That's something very freaking simple. Like, why did the car do that? So the way I learned to start your car if your key fob battery dies, you take your key fob, right? And you take this part or any part of the key, and you have to physically press it up against your start stop button. So you put your foot on the brake, push this against your start and stop, and the car would start without you having a battery until you go get one. So I went to AutoZone. I purchased 2 batteries for $25. I had to pop this open. There's like a little indent right here. You pop that open, replace the battery. Did not have to reprogram my key fob. Y'all, let me tell y'all a story. I was at the dealership not too long ago. A lady was in there with her Jeep, and she was telling us that they charged her $300 for a new key fob battery. She had a Jeep. She said that they told her she had to reprogram her key. That's a lie. And I told her, I'm like, ma'am, I purchased a battery for $25 for 2, and I probably could have gotten it cheaper on Amazon, but I just needed it like right then, and I replaced it myself. All you do is pop the battery out, pop it back in, because your key is already programmed to your vehicle. The only time you need a programmed key is if you need a new key, and I've had to replace a key, and they had to program it to my vehicle. So I will tell y'all, if you have key fob battery issues, please go change it yourself. Don't let them dealerships try to play y'all. So that was an issue that I had, but once I got a new battery in my key fob, the car worked fine. Like, she was fine, my engine was fine, like nothing. Like the way it glitched, I thought something was wrong with my engine or my car or something. She was fine, okay? She was perfectly fine. She didn't want to read the key. That's the only issues that I've had: batteries, tires, key fob. I haven't had any engine issues. I haven't had any, you know, accelerator issues. I hear a lot of people say Jeeps have accelerator issues. I haven't had any of that. I do not have. I've heard people say, like, when you drive too fast, the steering wheel shakes a little bit. Now, I had a when I had my Camry, that used to happen. Like, when I would drive too fast, the steering wheel would shake. That does not happen in wagon. She does not do that. She can get up to 90 miles an hour on the highway and she does not shake, okay? She's good. Oh, here's another thing about Jeeps: they're hard to drive if it's windy. So if you're driving against the wind, you have to really drive. Okay, let me explain this in this way. You know, some cars, you don't have to like drive it so hard. You can just kind of let it steer itself and it kind of stays straight. No, a Jeep, you have to drive it because it will drift if you don't keep it straight. On top of that, if it's really windy and you're driving like against the wind, or the wind is like pushing you one way, you will feel it and you will have to like literally drive against the wind. And the wagon will always let you, well, Jeeps will always let you know, like, hey, it's high wind advisory today. They always let you know because they know, like, baby, if you driving in the wind, you gonna have to really watch yourself. So when it's really windy and raining, I usually don't, well, I try not to drive. If you guys missed the 5 things I hate about my Jeep, those things still stand, but I'm gonna do a new video showing you guys like all of my solutions to those problems. So my problems were, I had like spiders in my car, which Jeeps are not sealed tight, so it's easy for things like ants and spiders to get in, but there are ways to fix that. So I will do a separate video showing like how I found solutions for all of my issues. The only complaint I have right now, 4 years later, is I'm noticing that a lot of the plastic inside of the car is scratching like really easily, especially the plastic that's by your feet. I always tell like my passengers when you get in, like, please do not like put your shoes or like watch your sneakers or how you put your foot in and out the car, because it is scratching really bad. Also, this paint, the paint scratches like super easy, like super easy. Like where my handles are behind the handle, I do have long nails sometimes. I try to watch the way I put my hand inside of the door handle, but I guess I'm still sometimes like scratching it. So there's scratches in there. I do have like scratches on my paint, but I know that can be buffed out. I did find somebody that can come to your house and they like do detailing on your car. So I am going to get my paint buffed and waxed. When I first got my car, y'all, I didn't know this, but I brought my car to a car wash, and y'all, the thing like gave my car a brush burn like right on this corner. It has a brush burn where it's like matte, it's not even shiny anymore. And they always say like, oh, car washes don't do that. Girl, like, your little car wash brush burned my wagon. Those are my only complaints. As far as driving, smooth drive, no complaint. Like I said earlier, only if you are like hitting a bump or something. Oh, another issue that I do have now, Jeeps are slow. I have a lot of people that be on my ass when I'm driving because I am not in a Camaro, okay? This is a Jeep. Even if I'm doing like 50 or 60, that's still slow compared to cars and other trucks on the road. So especially if I'm like traveling like Houston, San Antonio, whatever, wagon is slow. She's just a little slower, you know what I'm saying? Like, she picks up a little slower. If you are used to driving a Jeep, then you kind of understand that's just the name of the game. Like, she is not a Camaro, she's not a car. So you just gotta like, she when you drive, you gotta have a chill vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't always just be like speed racer, because you can't speed race. She's a Jeep. But people be blowing, or like if I'm in the fast lane, I'm already doing 65, and people be blowing at me, and it's like, bruh, I'm in a Jeep. Like, I'm in a Jeep. I'm over the speed limit. That's my only thing. If you're used to like a car, if you're a car driver, Jeeps may not be the best for you because she's kind of slow. You know what I'm saying? Like, she don't get up like a car. That's it. So I am going to take her to a mechanic just to get her checked out, you know, just because I really don't let mechanics like look under the hood, because y'all know they always gonna find something. Like, they're going to find something that needs to be fixed. But now that I'm starting to like hear my tires squeak and hear a little something under the hood, I'm like, all right, okay, now I can bring her. But she's not like breaking down. She starts up fine. She drives fine. My brakes are good. I don't have any car trouble, no glitches in the system. Like, I have no complaints. The only complaints are batteries, key fob, which that happens to everybody, I'm sure, and the windshield, which I got fixed. Other than that, no issues whatsoever. I love my wagon so much. I love her so much. I am going to start decorating her, so I'll probably document once I start like really getting into like the Jeep world. I do give out ducks. I do get ducked. Y'all, let me show y'all this duck. This is the cutest crocheted duck, y'all. Somebody gave me this at Buc-ee's. So if you are in Houston, Texas, and you are in Pearland at the Buc-ee's in Pearland, and you gave me this, like, this is the cutest thing. I will cherish this forever. I love creative people. I love people who make things. So I love, and then she looks a little mean. He or she looks a little mean, y'all. This is my favorite. This is my favorite. But I do get ducked, and I do duck other people. So having a Jeep, y'all, is so fun. Especially if you're a creative person. Like, it is literally the funnest car you can ever have. Like, I love the Jeep wave, waving at people. It's really cool. Like, being a Jeep owner is like the coolest car ever. Like, this is the coolest, littest vehicle ever. I love how everybody just decorates their Jeeps and they make it like personalized. I am going to start doing that. Like, I've done little things in the inside of my car, but nothing like crazy, but I'm gonna get into it. Anyway, like I said, if you are in a market for a Jeep, y'all, like, I'm gonna always, everybody who's like, oh, I don't know what I want to buy a car, but I don't know what kind of car I want, get a Jeep. I do know having a Jeep was, in my opinion, the best investment I could have ever made. I have no complaints. As like, everything I'm complaining about is like super minor. I love being a Jeep owner. I love the Jeep life. I love it. I love sitting up high. I just love everything about ducking people, waving, and, you know, decorating your Jeep and putting reefs on the back, and I just love it. I love my Jeep. So if you're in a market for a Jeep, they are expensive, yes, but they are worth it. So y'all, my battery's about to die, but I pretty much think that's it for this video. If you guys have any more questions, or if there's anything that I missed, leave a comment below. I have no issues with answering y'all's questions. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying my Vlogvember, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.
I could change your life so easily. I keep begging you to stay, but you're leaving me.